Syuhada Binti Syahari, I will start my explanations about our group research project, which is the introduction. The first content in this introduction is research background. Citation based on the Joshua and James 2020 said, pumpkin seeds serve as the powerhouse of the nutrient with interesting nutraceutical properties, while pumpkin seeds are largely regarded as agro-industrial waste. Pumpkin seeds are adding value to the economic production, contribute the formulation of the new product, and minimize waste. Pumpkin seeds are rich in functional components and widely used as functional food ingredient because of the great source of the mineral. Next, what is fettuccine? Fettuccine is the flat, thick pasta that is typically made from flour and eggs. There are numerous modifications that aim to cut the number of the calories and the dairy ingredient. Lastly, what is cooking quality of pasta? Stickiness, hardness, and overcooking tolerance, water absorption, swelling degree, and solid loss to cooking water are all ways to describe the cooking quality of pasta. Next, I will pass to Balkis Haifa to continue explanation about the other part in the introduction.
Hi, my name is Balkis Haifa. I will explain about problem statement. First, WHO or FAO suggests intaking 400 grams of 5 serving of fruits and vegetables every day. However, the huge population groups, especially children and adolescents, are eating less than the recommended amount of fruit and vegetables. So particularly, fruit and vegetable intakers related to the minimal data available for the childhood population, we are reported that we are likewise significantly below the recommended levels in Malaysia. Second, several studies show that certain grains as well as legume seeds such as peas, chickpea and mung beans are frequently used as the additive to increase the sensory attractiveness and nutritional value of wheat pasta by Wood 2009. However, the fruit seed flour is less applied to wheat flour. Pumpkin seed flour is appealing green color and nutty flavor, make it possible to apply it to create new nutrient-dense food by Petal 2030. For problem statement 3 until 10% children were suffering from constipation. This is caused by water absorption from digestive system. The insoluble dietary fibers such as hemicellulose, cellulose and lignin could prevent or alleviate this problem. The pumpkin seeds have a high amount of fiber, which is approximately 24.20% of root fiber in pumpkin seed, reported by Nyam et al. 2009. I will go to the objective. First is to differentiate the crude fiber content in pumpkin seed fettuccine. Second, to determine the texture properties of pumpkin seed fettuccine. And third, to study the cooking quality of pumpkin seed fettuccine. For research scope, in this project I have 5 scope, which is analysis aim to identify sample in triplicate. Second, formulation our group using control 100% semolina flour, 20%, 30% and 40% pumpkin seed fettuccine. Third, cooking quality to test cooking yield, optimal cooking time, water absorption index, swelling index and cooking loss. Fourth, texture using CT3 analyzer for uncooked sample is using TATPB probe and cooked sample is using TASBA WB1 probe. And fifth, is crude fiber is measured by the enzymatic gravimetric method with little modification.
The last part of this introduction is significance of study. Firstly, the semolina flour. Semolina flour is a protein-rich and high in gluten that commonly used as the all-purpose flour. It is a popular choice when making pasta for its strong bite and kosher grind. Next, because of dietary and medical advantage of the bioactive chemical found in pumpkin, it has attracted to all of the attention recently. Additionally, the amazing nutrient profile of pumpkin seed, contemporary science support it may improve many aspects of human health. The substitution of pumpkin seed flour will be applied to the fettuccine formulation to reduce the percentage of semolina flour. The amount of dry matter that is lost during the cooking process and ends up in the cooking water is represented as the cooking loss. Lastly, texture characteristic is an important measure of pasta quality. Next, I will pass to Alia Izzati to explain the literature review.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. My name is Alia Izzati binti Syaf Anwar. My number metric is 33TTM20F1019. Today, I will present about the literature review of our analysis. The first one is fiber. Pumpkin seed fettuccine is high in fiber. Cooking quality evaluated to measure thickness, fullness and firmness of the fettuccine. Next, cooking loss. Higher cooking loss, lower breaking energy. Texture. New or alternative ingredient can be compared with existing ingredients. optimal cooking time. The more thickness and more shorter the pasta, the less time taken. Next, swirling index, an indicator of water absorbed by the starch and potting during cooking.
Hi, my name is Hovin Che and I would like to present the methodology of our project. The research will start from selected the pumpkin seed and the ingredient of the fettuccine production and followed by pumpkin seed flour processing, fettuccine processing, and conduct all type of analysis. 20%, 30% and 40% of pumpkin seed flour were substituted into the fettuccine formulations. Control sample would be the 100% of salmonella flour fettuccine. These are the analyses that we conduct after sampling preparation by using different fortified level of pumpkin seed fettuccine sample. All the analyses were conducted in 3 piquets. The first analysis was used to determine the crude fiber content in the fettuccine sample. We modified the common filtration process by using a vacuum filtration technique to retain more tiny fiber particles from the sample. For the textural characteristic, all the textural properties test was conducted by using the Ametex Brookfield Texture Analyzer CT3. The uncooked sample was tested by using the knife-edge bladder with 3-point bend fixture. However, the cooked texture properties analysis require the sample cooked at its optimum cooking time and tested by 1mm shear bladder fixture for the hardness and springiness. For the cooking yield, the sample was cooked for 5 minutes and it rinsed and drained for another 5 minutes. The initial and the final weight of the sample was recorded. To determine the optimum cooking time of the fettuccine, the sample was cooked in the boiling water and evaluate at the core of the sample every 30 seconds by squeezing it between 2 transparent glass slides until no white cure occur. For the water absorption index, the sample was cooked at its optimal cooking time and drained for 3 minutes. The sample of wet before and after cooking was recorded for calculating the index. The same set of the sample was used for the swirling index and the cooking loss. The sample was cooked at its optimum cooking time and the sample was baked and dry in the oven until constant wet for the swirling index. The cooking water also was dry in the oven until the dry residue was present. The weight of dry residue was recorded. That's all about the methodology.
I will start the result and discussion with the first analysis, which is crude fiber content. In this analysis, our group performed with 4 formulations in triplicate of each formulation. Among the formulation is the control, which is 100% of semolina flour, 20%, 30% and 40% of pumpkin seed. This analysis is done using the AOAC method but slightly modified on the filtration part. In this result, show that there is a significant difference in the formulation 30% and 40% of pumpkin seed substitution compared to the control formulation, which is 100% semolina flour. In the previous research, the examined about the wet noodle substitute with soy flour also showed a significant difference in the addition of the flour ratio from 10% to the 30%. Kumari et al. 2020 noted that the crude fiber rose when the supplementation ratio of pumpkin seed flour increased from 10% to 50%. Next, I pass to Balki Saifa to explain the texture properties result.
Result of texture analysis properties for cooked sample hardness show significant difference of control to all sample. That means hardness control is not same with all sample. Commercial have no significant difference to 20%, 30% and 40%. For springiness, 30% pumpkin seed fettuccine have significant difference to all sample. Then control have no significant difference with 20%, 30% and 40%. Reported by Epstein et al. 2002, hardness corresponds to the force required to compress a pasta strain between molar teeth. Resilience assess the ability of the pasta strain to regain its original shape after the first compression, which is elastic recovery. Next, I will move to result for uncooked sample hardness show 20%, 30% and 40% have significant difference with control and commercial. Then commercial have no significant with control, 20% have no significant with 30% and lastly 30% have no significant with 40%. Springiness uncooked fettuccine have no significant difference among all the sample.
For cooking year analysis, there has no significant difference among all sample to control. Control sample is the highest, as you can see in the graph, and it decreases at 20% sample and then increases again at 30 and 40% sample. This could indicate that cooking white might not be a sensitive test for determining cooking quality parameter of spaghetti and other pasta products.
As the result shown in the graph, the replacement of the pumpkin seed flour affect the optimum cooking time of the pumpkin seed fettuccine sample. All the samples are significant difference to each other except the 20% and 30% of the pumpkin seed fettuccine samples. The trend of the graph shown that the optimum cooking time of the pumpkin seed fettuccine was decreased with respect to the control sample. This is shown that the higher the replacement level of the pumpkin seed flour into the fettuccine formulation, the shorter the optimum cooking time. Sarah and her team report that adding 15% of the well-sage seed flour, which is the pasta that contains high fiber content, has successfully reduced the optimum cooking time compared to the control sample. Moreover, another previous research by Petito also proved this result, which mentioned that a fiber-boosted pasta had a shorter optimum cooking time compared to the control pasta. The use of the non-gluten seed flour in pasta production was described to thin the durability of the gluten matrix of durum with salmonella, and the outcome will be the structure of pasta weakenings and breakdown. The water absorption of the pasta is the measure of from the retrograded starch network strength. The results show that the fortification of the pumpkin seed flour into the fettuccine formulation will affect the water absorption index among the samples. 3 samples with substituted pumpkin seed flour have no significantly different from each other but are significantly different to the control samples. This may be concluded that the water absorption index of the fettuccine decreased with the increased replacements of the pumpkin seed flour from 20% to 40%. The same trend was observed by Sarah and her team. Penna's team investigated that 20% of flax seeds and soya seeds flour enriched in spaghetti had performed a low water absorption index due to a high lipid content of seeds. The pumpkin seed has 23.45% of lipids. Therefore, an identical outcome was estimated for the fettuccine that including the pumpkin seed flour. According to the result, the solent index among 20%, 30% and 40% fettuccine sample are not significantly different. In construct, 30% and 40% fettuccine sample are significantly different from the control fettuccine sample. The previous study on seed-based pasta also showed that no significant difference between various ratio of replacements of real sage seed flour in the solent index of pasta. The graph also designated that the solent index of developed pumpkin seed fettuccine decreased concerning to the control fettuccine sample. The higher the percentage of the pumpkin seed flour substitution into the fettuccine formulation, the smaller the solent index of the fettuccine. Sarah and her team also revealed that the high fiber pasta sample's solent index was smaller than the control pasta samples. Adelken and the team conclude that the particle size and the replacement level of the flour will decrease the swirling capacity. Several researchers described that the water molecule uptake is limited due to the remaining oil trapped in a seed's fibrous matrix, resulting in a lower swirling index. Fiber can be disrupt starch protein matrix and it affects the starch swirling of pasta.
For cooking loss, there are significant difference among all the samples. Contour spaghetti sample performed the lowest cooking loss among the samples, whereas highest solid matter was gained from the fortified pasta. The graph showed the control was the lowest. The solid residue of pasta should not be more than 7% to 8% of its dry mass to achieve good quality. The graph showed that control 2%, 30% has the amount of under 8% of solid residue. So, the dry mass was achieved good quality of pasta.
Now, the presentation will come to the end by summarizing our research and give some suggestions for further study. From our research outcome, the pumpkin seed flour could be a new potential food enrichment with higher fiber content. The research finding could serve as the platform of the pumpkin seed flour substitutions into the formulation of the pasta-like product as the alternative dietary supplement in the food industry. For the suggestion on further study, the different treatments method on the pumpkin seed flour processing, such as deflecting and roasting, could be investigated. That's all from us. Thank you.